Welcome, sentient beings from all known universes and beyond. It's time to activate your cranial downlinks and prepare to receive a raft of discussion on a cosmic ocean of science fiction and fantasy topics, interviews with local area genre devotees, and insightful prognostication by our soothsayers of science fiction, our forecasters of fantasy, and any other beings that happen to get caught in our gravity well. This is the Galactic Driftwood Podcast.
Hello, and welcome to this episode of the Galactic Driftwood Podcast. I'm Bill.
I'm Linda.
I'm Charles.
Hey, I'm Seth.
I'm Chris.
And I'm sorry to do this to you all.
No, you're not. Don't tell a lie. Don't lie to our listeners.
But tonight, because it's evening now, it's sort of an after dark episode because that's about the only way we could get through this particular episode. We are going to be reviewing a show that we all watched this week, Llamageddon.
You heard that right. Llamageddon.
Yeah, Seth, can you give us sort of a synopsis of the movie?
Alien llamas.
You might have to turn up your volume a little bit. You're a little faint.
Oh, good. Yeah, now you tell me. And how's this? Can I
That's better.
Do this?
It's fine.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Good radio right here. Good radio, folks.
The best.
Llamas from another world, alien llamas, are launching spacecraft off of their home planet, and
spacecraft needs to be defined.
We'll get into that.
All right.
This
all
is
right.
a brief synopsis.
Okay.
Brief synopsis, and you're interrupting.
Yes. Sorry.
Alien llamas are launching spacecraft from their home planet. One of them comes to Earth, destroying the International Space Station on its way down, and lands in a random part of America.
Rural America. And immediately the llama inside murders an elderly couple, well, a seemingly normal middle-aged couple, but apparently they're grandparents. I don't know. And llama murders them, and then after the funeral, their grandkids have a party out at their farmhouse, and the llama murders everyone except for our brave protagonists who managed to survive because combines will kill anything, you know? Right.
We'll get to that too.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah. And I would be remiss at this point if I did not point out that Jenna brought this movie to our attention and suggested we watch it, and then didn't watch it herself because it was so horrible.
No, she was joking.
Yes. In quotes.
In air quotes.
Yeah.
And
We took her seriously.
we at the Galactic Driftwood Podcast have never seen a movie so bad we won't review. So
Right. So here it is. So let's get into some of the details here, some of the nitty gritty. So first of all, it's interesting that the llamas coming from this foreign planet all wear bridles and that their spaceships look exactly like earthbound livestock trailers, like
Complete
for horses
with-
or llamas.
complete with English branding, and just like it just looks like a trailer with flimsy wings glued onto the side.
Now,
Right.
We should
set the record
probably
straight.
Yeah, we should preface this by saying this is the definition of low budget. You look up low budget in the dictionary, you will see Llamageddon as an entry.
Correct. This is a bunch of amateurs putting together a film, a 1-hour film, and making the best they could out of a Llamageddon movie where detail was paid to is interesting and where detail was not is even more interesting.
Yeah. And where we couldn't actually have actors doing what they needed to do, we resorted to anime.
Yeah. And the beauty, the best part of it all is that it's available for free on Amazon Prime.
Absolutely.
So, yes, so we have these llamas taking off from their home planet in these stock trailers and flying around the galaxy. And
all of this is happening in animation, by the way.
This is the intro. This is the prologue to the movie.
Yeah. With a musical score of heavy metal in the background.
Because why not?
That's what llamas listen to, apparently.
And
You're a murderous llama. Only one of the llamas comes to Earth, and it seems to be on a mission to destroy everything or destroy humanity.
I think. Well, yes, its ultimate mission is to destroy humanity, but I think it came to reproduce.
Yes.
Oh,
we'll get to that. I don't want to jump into that. I can't.
I'm not sure I ever want to jump.
It's very important we follow the plot of this movie exactly, or else no one's going to know what's going on.
Right. Let's try and follow this one a little bit through. So
yeah.
So as where we left off was right. The grandkids have a party, and that's where this movie really starts out. Right. They stop at the house where the grandparents were at, who were murdered by the llama. And even when they show up, apparently nothing seemed odd that there was a llama standing outside of the house with glowing red eyes. With glowing red eyes, right? And they're like, it's just a llama, whatevs. and to be frank, everyone, I had to try to watch this movie twice. The first time I only made it through the first 16 minutes. So it starts out with this, killer llama shows up on Earth, blows away this elderly couple, and then, fast forward a few weeks after a funeral, their grandkids show up at their home to have a good old college party and drink and get high and everything. And we get to this part where I just lost interest.
Yeah, Chris, you need to tell them how the llama kills the old people.
The old people, wow, that was at the very beginning.
That was the laser beams.
The laser beam into the truck, wasn't it?
No,
that was.
That was.
We don't actually.
They never go back to that either. Yeah.
No, they were in bed.
No, we don't.
Right? We don't actually see. They were in bed. You're right.
Yeah, we just see the llama enter the house and then blood splatter.
Blood splatters all around the bedroom or whatever. That's right. That's right. You don't see how they die.
This movie's equivalent of blood, which is, as near as I can tell, either red Kool-Aid or red Jello, or a mixture of the two.
Shot from a Super Soaker 10,000. Okay.
Yes. Right.
Something of that nature. Anyways, these kids have this party, and things start going downhill from there. And it gets very awkward. There's this 5-10 minute scene of just the kids partying. And it is one awkward situation of nonsense after another.
Yeah,
until you really get into the good stuff.
None of the characters are likable. None of the dialogue is good. There's exactly one good gag in this movie that goes all the way through.
Dan in the shirt.
Yeah.
I think the chief sin of this part of the movie, and maybe the movie as a whole, is that they stick on a scene for about 4 times as long as they need to.
Yeah, this should have been like a 45-minute movie.
Right.
There was some stuff that could have been cut out.
They probably had to pad it to reach the 1 hour limit.
I'm sure they did.
There is one scene in there with 2 of the people, or 2 of the characters. One of them makes a joke about sex, and then saxophone music starts playing, and they start dancing in the hallway, and they're doing that for 30 to 45 seconds. Meanwhile, we all know that they can't hear that saxophone music.
Right. It's just for our benefit.
Yeah.
So they're just
dancing awkwardly in silence in the hallway for close to a minute. And it's just like, this is taking way too long.
Right.
When does the llama start murdering people?
Well,
20
let's
minutes
see.
in?
I think
Maybe?
the next
Oh no.
was the next murder the girl in the car.
Yeah. So the party's getting going, and another friend has texted, "Hey, come check out. This is perfect. This is perfect right here." So this is when we learn that the llama isn't just like a stomp 'em, kill 'em, bite 'em llama, right? This girl
Right.
pulls up. She's texting and driving, whatever. She stops because there's a llama in the road. No big deal. Okay. Llama looks at her and blows her away with laser beams out of its red glowing
Yeah,
eyes.
this too takes a while, because in the time it takes for the llama to kill her, I would have just like driven around the llama.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
And this was probably one of the more expensive scenes of the movie here, because
Actually,
think
it was.
they really lit that car on fire.
Yeah, I think they actually used fireworks to light a car on fire. So I'm guessing this must have been a junker or something. But yeah, it actually looked like he lit that car on fire, and that's probably the most effects you get. The
They were
scene of the
doing it for
girl
the insurance
inside
money.
burning alive was like she was getting lathered in lotion. She's all like, "Oh, I'm burning alive! I'm
Yeah.
burning alive!"
And,
I'm like, wow,
the
that's,
fire effect was clearly posted in
Yes.
front of her acting. Like,
We're not
so
kidding,
very
people.
clearly.
Low budget, and
She was
Comically
never
so.
in any danger. I don't
No.
think she was within a mile of an open fire.
so that's the first death.
Yes.
So the movie starts to unfold, and we'll jump around to some interesting things, I think. But the movie starts to unfold is the llama has now shown back up at the house and starts picking them off kind of one by one, or in groups, or
Pitching in groups.
Well,
or
it
throwing
picks them off
radios
one by
into a
one.
tub.
And then it kills 80% of the cast all in
Yes.
one go.
Yeah, that's how you know
Because
they're
this was
really
taking
speeding
way
things
too
up.
long.
Well, now hold on. We need to pause, because after the car incineration, the llama's back on the farm.
Yep.
And one of the guys walks out of the house, and he's smoking like a cigarette or something. I don't know.
It's a joint, Bill.
A joint,
It's called-
sorry.
Yes.
Thank
that's
you.
marijuana?
Gotcha.
That's
And
Mary.
so he
Jane.
offers a drag to the llama, who then takes not only the joint, but several of the guy's fingers,
Yep.
who then erupt a fountain of blood, obviously done in post.
And do people notice either of these deaths?
No.
No.
So there's
They- neither of
screaming
these
going
deaths-
on outside the ranch, and nobody can hear it.
Meanwhile,
Or people just disappearing and not coming back.
we've got the B plot, which is to get the main character brother, the guy who's a pathetic weakling asshole, to get him laid.
That's why the
upon-
sex conversation came up earlier, by the way.
Oh, it did?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, he gets laid, and his character goes from being weak nobody to all of a sudden manly man.
Yeah. So there's in that scene that Seth's referring to after the lay happens, right? The
lay.
the guy sits up in the bed and is like, "I'm a man now."
Yeah.
And if you go back and you watch that, you can tell they had to cut that because he's trying to keep a straight face and he can't, right? He's like, "I'm a man now," and he can't do it. There's like this smirk that starts to take over.
Yeah,
and they have to cut it and go to the next scene.
There were a few times
few
where
scenes,
they
yeah.
cut it right as someone was starting to laugh.
Yeah.
Now
So they were definitely enjoying making this.
I'd like to have Seth describe this, because I think he describes this part fairly well. The guy that had his fingers bitten off, I think it's that guy, or is it the woman that came out and found him? But anyway, the
Yes.
llama starts pummeling this person. And Seth, can you describe that?
So they can't actually get the llama to do anything. Like, the llama is just
Yeah.
there to stand there and look like a llama with glowing red eyes. But anytime you see it doing something, the
It is another actor whose arms have been wrapped in fur that kind of looks like the llama fur. And in this scene, we see how they got the hoof. And the hoof is basically they put a black glove, like a black latex glove, over their hand, and then they made a fist with that, and that is the hoof. That was the effect for the hoof. I could clearly see it was a black glove.
Yeah,
Classic.
that's my first llama stomp. So that was,
The dance
That was
craze. It's
something.
going to be taking this nation by storm.
Right.
The llama stomp.
Right. So then what's next? Oh, I think, isn't it next about time that they find the hot tub?
Yeah. So, well, so they were playing, like, the kids inside are playing drinking games. They find out there's a hot tub on the premises, which, why don't you lead with that in your party description?
Yeah, party foul.
And despite not knowing that there was a hot
Killer
tub
llama
on premises for this party, everyone apparently brought their swimming trunks anyway, or their swimsuits. And so 80% of the cast goes and gets in this hot tub. Then the llama comes in and
Go back to that last picture, Linda.
yeah, the llama comes in and knocks the radio into the hot tub.
Yeah, you see that
And then
radio in that picture there. There's a radio sitting on the back of the hot tub. And the llama throws it into the hot tub, but it's caught by one of the actors
Yeah,
in the hot
and
tub.
then the llama bops him.
And then the llama
into the-
just starts beating the shit out of him till the radio falls in the water. And then we see them all get electrocuted over the span of 2 minutes?
Yeah, 2 minutes of straight electrocution of them all just like the direction must have been just like, okay, everyone, you're having a seizure. Everyone have a seizure until I say cut. And so they're all just
flailing about.
Right.
And the next weirdest, dumbest thing happens here, right? So
yeah.
Seth, you're incorrect. It was actually 75% of the cast, because 5% now walk in to get us to this 80% that's about to die.
See,
Here.
this is one of my favorite bits. I love this
These
so
other
much.
two girls come in nonchalantly, walk up the steps to get into the hot tub, as if they can't see what's going on. Meanwhile, guys, this is still looping. There's
There are
electricity edited in, and these guys are still flailing around in the pool.
There
They're
are 8 people in this hot tub getting electrocuted to death.
And they're like, let's get in. And then they just get right in and get electrocuted themselves. What the hell?
Yes.
What the hell?
The funniest bit of this, though, is that when they're told to collapse because they're dead, you can clearly see one of them slip, catch themselves, and stop themselves from actually falling, and the other ones start to laugh before they cut.
Yeah, one of them if you look closely, the girl with the blue bathing suit, the blonde girl in the blue bathing suit in the tub, is laughing like almost hysterically when they're doing this. She doesn't have I'm in pain. She's enjoying this whole thing. She's laughing. She must have thought the camera angle was not on her at that moment. But that happened.
And if you were about to get in a hot tub and you're looking in there and you're seeing all of your friends that are in this movie and they're all spazzing out in there, you would probably start laughing.
You probably think I'll join in too. Just nuts. So yeah, that was the hot tub scene, and then this is when stuff starts to get real, right? Dan, who is probably one of my favorite characters, if only because his party trick is he changes his shirt all the time. We're getting to this scene. So the scene that's up here, we're getting to this. Dan walks in. He went to go get some beers. He comes back and finds them all dead. Goes back in the kitchen and tells everybody, guys, they're all dead. Everybody's dead. And they're all freaking out. And so they go outside because they're trying to call 911 and they can't. So they figure we'll get a better service outside. They go out the front door.
But Chris, we need to note here that the girl didn't have any problem using her cell phone in the beginning to call
the whole beginning
4,000 of her friends.
Right. I realized that too. I'm like, oh, so now you don't have service? You spent the entire first half of the movie calling everybody and texting everybody?
And meanwhile, they have a phone in the house, the wired landline.
Yep.
Anyway,
Yep.
go ahead. Sorry.
So they go outside, and this is where shit gets real, right? The llama is out there in the front.
Real in air
In
quotes.
Staring him
quotes,
down.
shit gets
Yeah.
real in quotes
In
here.
quotes, right? So, yeah, you get the group of 5 left at this point, and they're
Six, I
standing
think.
out. Was it? Yeah, maybe a 6.
I think there are 6 because 2 get blowed up right here.
Yes, two run across the porch and attempt to get away, and the llama laser blows them up to death. And that's when we see some excess super soaker blood action, right?
Yeah,
So it's kind of. Go ahead.
This is
Seth,
where we
you
find out that
describe
the llama's eye lasers explode people,
Yes.
like, and also set the grass on fire.
Right.
Yeah, amazingly.
But yeah, this is where we see our really good blood effects, where you can clearly tell that it was just someone right off camera with a big squirty bottle of red juice just squirting it at people because they're just
Yep. They're drenched, and one of the guys they have throwing up like a massive amount, and it's like he leans over, and it's just this massive.
It's like a fire hose.
fire hose, just
for 30 seconds,
yeah.
of which the vomit stream is never in line with his mouth. Like,
Yeah.
it's clearly off of his mouth, so it looks
Yeah.
like you can clearly tell it's. Oh God.
It was so bad, guys. It was so bad. Yeah, anywho, so we lose a couple more cast members there. They rush into the house. They're like, "Oh shit, we got a landline. Let's call." Landline goes dead because that happens in every
Oh no,
movie.
no! First, they call their dad.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Yeah.
They do get through
almost
to their
forgot.
dad.
So
And then the line goes dead, and he's like, "My children need me." To the woman he's in bed with.
who
The
couldn't
teen.
have been more the teen, like 18 years old with like I don't know how old of a guy, but like holy crap.
Yeah, because she's like, wait a minute, you have kids?
Yeah,
She
and then
doesn't know
puts-
he's old.
She gives him some money, puts money on him, and says, "Well, you're about to have more."
Mhm.
We forgot something important here, and that's while the kids were out
on
like-
the porch.
on the porch, the llama pukes glowing
Oh, my
green
gosh.
goo on one of them. And the guy you see
I
in the
didn't forget.
picture
I
right
was just
there,
hoping we could bypass this.
his eyes
it out.
start glowing red, and he begins to transform into a llama.
And
Which-
describe that process, Seth, because that's classic.
Yeah. So to show his transformation into a llama, they literally just start zip tying pieces of fur to his arms. You can clearly see the ties of the fur on his arms.
So bad.
And he's pretty much just going, "Bah, ah, ah," which I'm not sure if that's a sound a llama actually makes.
More like a sheep. But and then
Now,
it goes
mind
to
you,
a little animation, right?
No, that's way later.
Okay,
He gets
all right.
This
inside and
transformation
everyone's
takes
horrified.
a while. Okay.
Yeah, that's
this
true.
Transformation takes a while.
All
So yeah,
so
They
they
end up
call
back
their
in the
dad,
house.
and then everyone's like, "Okay, we got to run. This place isn't safe." And so they do, and like there's like, I want to say there's 5 of them at the start, and then one of the girls gets killed on the way.
so the girl that gets killed on the way, right? So they're running, and one of them's gonna fall, and when they fall, it's like, all right, you're obviously gonna die now. The kid turns back to help her up. She gets blown up, and Dan shows up again, this time with a nicer shirt. Okay, like a button-up shirt or something like that, and says "Tough break, kid," and then just helps the other guy up, and it keeps going. And it's just like, what?
and
Like, them's the breaks, man. Like,
And then they
happens.
just abandon the guy who's turning
Yes.
into a llama because they figure the llama's tracking him through that guy, I guess, without evidence.
Right.
So they just abandon him. It's like, sorry, man, we gotta go.
And then that's where we get the animated scene where I believe like his transformation, he gets the ears, and I believe this is where we get the scene, like that's the scene where the llama impregnates him.
Right.
Yes.
So the llama, like, front of it opens up and all these tentacles come out, apparently, right? And then
Chris
there's
is
the
dying.
impregnation scene.
Chris has nothing but regret right now.
Oh,
Guys, we still have another 20 minutes of this movie to talk about. Let's
Move it along.
Move it on.
Yeah. Well, no, just realize that of all that we've talked about, we still have another 20 minutes to talk
Yeah,
about.
this is an hour and 6 minute movie.
It is a jam-packed hour.
So we move on from that. At the time, you're just like led to like I just assumed like at the end of that animated sequence that the llama had murdered him, and I was like,
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
why
Yeah.
transform him if you're just going to
We'll
murder
come back
him?
to that. We'll come back to that.
But then we get back to the rest of our cast as they come across the llama's spaceship, the trailer. And Chris, what did they find inside? Do you?
Right.
Dan, the guy with the many shirts, walks in and pulls out an object there, and it's basically an aluminum foil wrapped gigantic baseball bat.
It's a Nerf bat.
Yeah, exactly. And
Plastic Nerf bat.
plastic Nerf bat wrapped in aluminum foil that he calls his space stick.
Right.
Okay?
And then
When
he
he
starts
gets-
to use it like
Yes.
Obi-Wan with a lightsaber to block the llama's laser eyes.
Right. So he now feels empowered, right? I've got
Yeah.
a space weapon. It's time that we stand up to this llama and we fight valiantly.
And
Some
you start-
combination thereof of those words. Meanwhile, while he's going on this dialogue, right? He's wearing a Bill, what color uniform is that? It's a Star Trek uniform, but
Yeah,
it's
it was-
like a captain's
gold.
like
It's
Yeah,
the Captain
captain's-
Kirk
yeah,
uniform.
so he's now wearing a captain's Star Trek uniform, okay? And
complete
he's
with
given
Star
the-
Trek insignia. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
they didn't have permission to use that.
So he's rallying the troops, right? We're gonna fight this thing. He's already deflected a laser beam, and he's like, "We got this." Meanwhile, what happens when you monologue? You get killed. So the llama's like pissed, right? And you see like steam come out of its eyes or whatever, and it shoots a big red laser and blows him up. And it was like, well, that was short lived. The guy had the space stick of all of like 2.5 minutes.
And now we're down to 2 characters.
Yeah, and now
left.
we're down to 2. Well, there's a third guy, but
Right.
no longer a guy.
Yep.
We'll get to that. So
Yes.
now we're running for our lives again, and we're gonna run into like a like a barn?
a barn
Yeah.
Yep.
with, I might add, tunnels in it that their grandpa dug to evade the Korean War draft.
no, it was to evade. What was it?
It was to
Vietnam.
evade the draft.
The draft.
Vietnam.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And they didn't look like they weren't.
There was no
tunnels.
tunnels.
Yeah. This was just a barn door that they found
Yeah.
into another part of the barn.
Yep.
Yes.
So bad.
they're hiding in this other part of the barn from the llama, but they're up above where the llama is in the bottom of the barn. And so they move some hay out of the way so they can look through the cracks and see the llama, which of course the llama instantly sees them and then fires 2 laser beams up through the roof of the barn, which the dad, who has now made it to the farm, sees in his pickup truck. And he's like, oh, these damn kids with their laser beams.
Yep.
Damn kids in their laser beams. And he gets his shotgun out of the truck.
And cocks it.
Or
And
the
he
one
start-
out of like 40th time that he cocks it.
yeah,
Right. Before he even shoots.
yeah. Every time you see him with this shotgun, he cocks it, and I'm
Yep.
just like, okay, that's how guns work.
Unlimited ammo.
Yeah.
Well, he apparently does have unlimited ammo because he comes across the guy who got turned is like now half llama
Llama
or
boy.
whatever,
llama enough to start laying llama eggs.
Don't talk about this. I'm not going to have any part in this. Just
Llamas come out of llamas are from eggs, fur-covered eggs from this planet.
And these are not small eggs. These are not chicken eggs.
These are eggs that are as big as your head.
Yeah, easily as big as your head. I'd say larger than your head. And somehow he's laying these eggs, and I don't know which hole they're coming out of down below.
Oh, stop.
Bill's fascination with orifices.
But he's laying them out the front side of his body, so I'm thinking urethra.
Oh, stop.
Yeah, we didn't need that in the podcast. Okay, that's
I'm just saying it's a scientific term.
Yeah, but I don't think his egg came out of there.
Some science we didn't need.
He's very he's
clearly
really not happy about the situation.
He's howling a lot.
Yeah, the dad comes in and he's like, "Help me, help me," and so the dad does, and then he shoots all 15 of the eggs.
I commend him for like not even trying to sort out whatever was going on.
Well, he did wait long enough for one of the llamas to hatch.
Yeah, I think it was more of like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
But I like the fact that when the guy was like, "Kill me," he was like,
okay,
boom, blew him away.
No conversation.
No conversation.
All right.
Maybe we can figure this out. Just like, don't need to tell me twice. Just boom.
This looks bad. Yeah, I'll kill you.
I agree, man. Looks bad.
Then he shoots all the llama eggs.
Right.
Yep.
Then he gets in a fight with the llama, gets his ass beat.
Okay, I will say this though. Going back, Bill, to your point.
Yeah.
Thinking about it. So the first egg that hatches, right?
Yeah.
That did take a long time, and I was actually worried that like that baby llama was going to come out of there shooting laser beam.
Yeah, I know that's right, because it had red eyes.
I was like kind of waiting for it. Yeah, I was like, oh boy, is he going to sit there and stare at this and get his head blown off?
I had the same thought. Like I thought he was going to get baby llama lasered to death.
Yeah.
Baby llama laser.
Baby llama laser.
Baby llama laser.
Baby llama laser. Wow.
Yeah.
Guys, this movie.
Would you say the baby llamas were as cute as Grogu?
No.
As cute as who?
Grogu.
Grogu? No.
You know, the Star Wars.
Yes, I know, the child.
Star Wars. What's that?
Yeah, I thought you meant Groot. You were going for Groot.
No,
it's not as cute as either
the
of those.
Mandalorian.
No.
And they were hideous.
Specifically not as cute because of that whole scene involved with how they came to being.
Right.
Yeah, we're not going to see a merchandising rush on these things.
No. All right, so then the dad's in a fight to the death with the llama, and the llama knocks the dad down and starts pummeling him with his llama hooves/fists, and tears a big gash out of his throat. And we believe that's the end of the dad.
Mm-hmm.
And then the llama
valiantly, he lasted the longest, by the way, people, against this llama, even down to a fist fight. He's having a fist fight with the llama. Okay.
Right.
So
he's down, bleeding out the throat, apparently out of the action. And so then we see the last two kids, the brother and sister, running for their lives from the llama. And the llama pretty much has them cornered.
In front of the combine.
In front of the combine. And as the llama's about to kill them, the dad suddenly reappears in the driver's seat of the combine, fires the combine up, and starts driving it into the llama. And then there's about a 30-second scene or so where we see the combine just start to grind on the llama's fur leg.
It took a long time.
Yeah.
Yep. As its green blood was squirting all over the place.
So seeing that picture right there, that is pretty much the exact positioning they were in when the dad started the combine.
Right. Yeah. I don't know
how did he hit.
How did he hit the llama and not them?
Right. Well, maybe they got smart and turned and run, and the llama, not knowing what a combine is, just stood there figuring, maybe this is a treat dispenser.
Yeah. Why didn't the llama just laser the combine?
Right.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Either way, this is the end of the llama
Yeah.
and the beginning of the dad's death scene,
Right.
where he tells the girl, "You were always my favorite."
That was weird.
And then the boy says, "Don't worry, Dad. Mom was always my favorite." And he's
Right.
like, "That a boy." And I'm like, that's fucking weird.
That's a weird family.
And then he dies in the most hilarious death scene I've ever seen in my life. It was amazing. Just his foot kicks up all the way up once and then down, and he's dead. And you can still see him very clearly breathing because he got kind of winded during that.
Oh yeah.
But that's not quite the end because
Oh,
We- we have the credits now.
yes. So
With an originally written rap song that's just basically covering the plot of the movie, while in the upper right-hand corner, the movie itself is playing at 5 to 8 times speed,
Yeah,
just
something
to
like that.
not
you got to
clips
live
from
through
the
the
movie.
whole
The
thing
movie
again.
is just playing super fast from the beginning,
in a little window on the side as the credits roll. And,
and
then
then is well, part of the rap that they're doing is just like listing off the names of the actors who were in the movie.
and then the credits end and we get a bonus scene.
Would we really call it a bonus?
Well, they would call it a bonus, I think. And in the bonus scene, we see some random middle-aged man in his kitchen at his stove with a frying pan. And all of a sudden, we see him pick up one of these llama eggs and crack it open and pour the contents into a skillet. And
Bright
he
green.
starts, what's that? Green.
It's the bright green, like the llama blood.
Yeah. And he's mixing it up
And then he starts eating it.
and fixing his breakfast. And then he sits down and eats it.
And that's it.
The end. Charles, now we haven't heard from you yet. I'd like to hear your impression of the film. What was your favorite scene?
No, there's no favorite scene.
I thought for sure you were going to say the birthing of the eggs.
God.
Yeah, gross.
That's
Yeah.
clearly not that scene traumatized Chris.
Chris had totally blocked it out of his mind, and
I
we
did.
brought it up before the show started, and he's like, "Oh my god, I had totally blocked that from my conscious memory."
I just.
No, everything about this was wrong. Grandma and grandpa were too young.
Oh yeah, very too young.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and the grandma and grandpa are
I
killed in their home, and after the funeral, the mother takes the grandkids and leaves them there alone.
Yeah.
They haven't caught the murder. They don't know who murdered him. The guy
Why
could
did
just
she-
still be living in the attic or in the barn. And as it turns out,
Just hanging out in the field.
yeah.
Oh.
So yeah. So Charles, no favorite scene.
no favorite.
Would you consider it a good date night movie?
No.
Well, I mean, it depends on if you're wanting to break up with her afterwards.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, some girls like horror films. I don't know. I did. There's a spot. A couple of things that I had to while I was watching it. I think that they do cross a sign that says like City of Eatonville or something.
Hmm.
As far as I could tell, I Wikipedia'd it. As far as I could tell, it was in Ohio.
Oh.
Okay.
That fits.
But there, with grandma and grandpa being so young and stuff, I would have placed the whole thing in, Missouri or Alabama or
Well, I think
but
they thanked the University of Minnesota, I think, in the credits.
And Bush Beer.
And Bush
Well,
Beer.
Bush
Bush
Beer,
Beer
yeah,
was
very
featured
northern.
prominently in this movie.
Yeah.
That was grandma and
Those
grandpa.
are not grandparents right there.
Yeah.
Right.
Like we're looking at a picture of them. Those are middle-aged people.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
In their 40s, I'd say.
If even that.
Yeah.
Oh, let's say 45s.
Yeah.
I
It
don't-
was just sick and wrong all the way
Look,
around.
I will say this. I had fun. It was
It was good to laugh at.
It was fun to watch. Like you were going,
it
what
was.
the hell the whole time?
Yeah.
But at least you were kind of having fun. There was that shirt gag that was actually good.
Yes.
And I've seen worse movies with way bigger budgets. Cough, cough, Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Oh, I had to bring it there.
I did have to do it. I enjoyed this more than Zack Snyder's Justice League.
But then we did have some beverages beforehand,
please.
so that might have helped.
I had way more to drink with Zack Snyder's Justice League, and that did not make it any better.
Oh.
But yeah, it's kind of a, if you're looking for a movie that you can watch where every 3 minutes or so, your response is WTAF, what the actual fuck is going on. This is the movie for you.
And just push through the first 15 minutes or so.
Yeah.
There's
just
a weird
push past
part where
the
you're
first
just
15.
Push
We
past
got-
the party scene.
Linda, Seth, Katie, and I, we got to about the 28-minute mark, and then we said, okay, how much of this is there left? And we realized we were about halfway, and we figured, well, at this point, we might as well go on. And I'm glad we did. It was
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I will say I am glad I went back to finish it.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not
so-
gonna watch it again,
no.
but
No.
No,
I mean,
no.
I don't regret it either.
Right. It did
It was
have
an
its
experience. I've had it.
Yeah.
I don't need it again.
right.
Yeah.
Now we do have to somehow talk it up to Jenna so that we can get her to watch it
Good luck with that.
I think
And
she
report
owes
on
us.
for the next
It
show.
does.
I think she
'Cause
owes
I think
us.
she owes us.
Well, maybe next time we have like a movie night or something, where we plan on watching a couple, we just kind of sneak that in there.
We slip it
There
in.
you go.
right.
No, we find a new one.
Yeah,
Because-
we noticed that there were quite a few in the same category on Amazon Prime after we finished it last night.
I saw that. I just wasn't sure if I wanted to go down that rabbit hole.
In the people who watched this also watched list was the Velocipaster, and I fully want to watch that.
I
The
do
story of
want
a-
to see that though.
The story of a pastor who discovers he can turn into a velociraptor
Yeah.
and how he has to murder people to save a bunch of prostitutes.
It's got even lower ratings than
Llamageddon.
Llamageddon.
I understand it's god awful terrible, but
Yeah, but here's the
just
thing,
got-
though, Chris. I think the only people that have rated Llamageddon were the actors that were in it.
because going over that at lunch.
Yeah, because pretty much every rating is 5 stars.
Oh man, this
So
is gonna be good.
yeah, your mileage may vary with the rating system on IMDb. All right, well, I think that'll cover it for this show. I'm not going to encourage anyone to go out there and watch Llamageddon, but if you're a glutton for punishment and we've intrigued you with some of the depictions of what went on in the show, then check it out. At least it doesn't cost anything other than an hour of your life. So whatever that's
It
worth.
is an hour of your life, not your time. It's an
Right.
hour of your life.
So, all right. Well, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Be sure to check us out on galacticdriftwood.space and check out our partner podcasts on synergynation.net. That's SYN nation.net. And of course, you can find us video on YouTube And then the audio portion of this podcast is on all your favorite podcast locations. So we will catch you all next time. Thanks for tuning in and take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Don't let the llama get you on the way out.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Galactic Driftwood Podcast. For more information and past episodes, please visit our website at galacticdriftwood.space or subscribe to us on YouTube. And now, please deactivate your cranial downlinks, collect your towels, and be sure to watch your step as you exit our gravity well.